about as sharp as me.
Reality television shows became a huge earner for the A&E network, most especially when they started airing Duck Dynasty. It became the most watched reality series in cable TV history by its fourth season, having premiered in August 2013 with 11.77 million viewers, and with an average of 9.16 million viewers for the whole season. It was reported to earn around $80 million from advertising sales alone, and according to Forbes.com, it raked in $400 million from the merchandise. However, after several controversies surrounding its major stars, A&E cancelled the show, a move that shocked its loyal fans. Duck Dynasty was an American reality TV series that featured the personal lives along with the family business of the Robertson clan in Louisiana. It was the first time in cable TV history that a show all about making duck calls, hunting animals, outdoor activities, and everyday family interactions dominated the ratings. The show premiered on the 21st of March 2012, and the creators of the show, Gurney Productions, subsequently produced 11 seasons, and A&E TV broadcast an average of 2 seasons per year for the fans to enjoy. Each season would last for 2 to 3 months, with 10 to 18 episodes aired every Wednesday night. It mostly showed the redneck culture of the Bible-thumping duck hunters, with each episode ending with a prayer at the dining table, in which all the family members were present for the last meal of the day. However, after creating so much buzz every week, the final episode aired on March 29, 2017. The phenomenal success of Duck Dynasty can be attributed largely to the stars of the show, the Robertson family, as they all had interesting personalities that the viewers just couldn't get enough of. The family lived in the small town of West Monroe in the northeastern part of Louisiana. All of them looked rugged, with the adult Robertson men sporting their signature long beards and wearing camouflage clothing. Their lifestyle revolved around going out to shoot or catch squirrels, catfish, frogs, and ducks. The family's patriarch, Phil Robertson, was a former high school star quarterback who earned a scholarship to Louisiana Tech due to his football skills. However, he quit football as it hampered his duck hunting activities. His decision surprised many people as he grew up poor, and football could have been his ticket to a better life. He married at the age of 20 to Marcia K. Carraway, Miss K, who was 15 years old at the time, and they eventually had children. Life wasn't great back then, as Phil resorted to drinking and went through a dark phase in his life, resulting in the pair separating. But he realized his mistakes as he found Jesus. They reconciled, and he turned his life around by getting serious in building a business related to duck hunting. Phil and Kay already had a 1-year-old son, Marshall Allen Robertson, when they married. Their second child, Jason Silas, Jace, was born 4 years later in 1970. Willie Jess, Will, came in 1972, while the youngest, Jules Jephthah or Jep, was born in 1978. All their sons married and have given their parents a total of 16 grandchildren, most of whom appeared in the show, but not all of them were part of the regular cast. Phil's brother, Silas Merritt Robertson, better known as Uncle Si, was a military veteran who fought in Vietnam and joined Phil's business after being discharged from the military in 1993. Loyal fans of the show loved his antics, as Si would often take breaks whenever they made the duck calls. Despite saying that it was easy, he had a hard time staying on the job of taking care of the reeds that were placed inside the duck call. His spontaneity created so many outrageous scenarios that could annoy some of the members of the Robertson family, but it was what made him one of the most lovable characters in the show. In 1972, Phil created the duck call that was used by hunters to lure ducks. He started the business of manufacturing a line of duck calls for all kinds of duck species, and he called the company Duck Commander. Those duck calls are handmade using cedar wood, and he taught all his sons how to make them, along with his brother Si. Aside from their patented duck calls and merchandise, the company also expanded to deer hunting merchandise, using the Buck Commander brand, along with turkey hunting merchandise under the Strut Commander label. The third son, Will, was chosen by Phil to be the chief executive officer of the company after he graduated from NE Louisiana University with a bachelor's degree in health and human performance. His determination and vision turned his father's small company into a multi-million-dollar business empire. The company became successful after the show reigned supreme in the TV ratings. Walmart was the first major retailer to take notice, and along with the business acumen of Brandgenuity, an agency that takes care of licensing deals, they helped make the Duck Dynasty brand a mega-hit success, as it happened with the Comedy Central cartoon series South Park. They knew how to strike while the going was hot, and it made Robertson's family one of the richest reality TV stars. Devoted fans bought their merchandise, including apparel, shoes, and books, down to band-aids. Stores have aisles devoted to Robertson-themed merchandise. A&E may have been the first network that aired the show, but it wasn't the network which discovered the Robertson family. The original creators of the show were Mark Pierre and Chris Richardson of Warm Springs Productions. The show was called Duck Commander back in 2009, and it ran for 3 seasons on the Outdoor Channel. However, in 2012, A&E came along and struck a new deal with the Robertson family, leaving Warm Springs out of it as the network preferred to use Gurney Productions to produce the new show. The eldest son, Alan, purposely wasn't involved in the family business because he devoted his time to being a pastor. For the first 3 seasons of the TV show, he was nowhere to be seen. But after realizing that he could spread the word of God much faster and reach a wider audience via TV, he became a recurring character from the 4th season until the last season. Fans were shocked when the youngest son, Jep, shared that he was sexually molested when he was 6 years old. The alleged abuser was an older woman, and it happened on the school bus. He first revealed it in a book he wrote entitled The Good, the Bad, and the Grace of God. What honesty and pain taught us about faith, family, and forgiveness. It so traumatized him that he didn't want to go back to school, but never told anyone at home. So his mother believed that he was only sick at the time. As a result, he resorted to drinking and taking drugs while growing up. But fortunately, an intervention helped him turn his life around. He was able to talk about it with his wife, who helped him get past that dark place. In 2020, Phil revealed that he'd found out that he had an illegitimate daughter named Phyllis Harvey Thomas, born 45 years ago, when he hadn't yet found Jesus in his life. Phyllis, a registered nurse, got in touch with his 2 eldest sons to see if Phil was really her father, as her mother had told her that they were romantically involved in the past. Initially, Alan ignored the letter that was sent to them, since he was wary of fraud, and found the birth date to be suspicious. But then they conducted their own research and talked to their father about it. Phil took a DNA test and it came back with a 99.9% positive match. He then officially introduced her, not only to his family, but to the world via his podcast and social media. Television executives don't normally want to cancel the shows, certainly not one that broke cable TV viewing history records and became the highest revenue-generating show for a time. When A&E ended the show, it left fans disappointed. Here are some of the factors that contributed to the cancellation of Duck Dynasty. As with many TV shows, whether reality TV or fictionalized TV, the moment ratings start to decline, expect the producers to step back and see if the viewership can carry the load of the cost of production. When Duck Dynasty became popular, the stars naturally asked for a higher appearance fee, and Phil said that they did just that. However, the decline in viewership was quite obvious in the 3 seasons that were aired in 2014. The 5th season was aired from January to March, and the premiere of the episode gained 8.94 million viewers. The 6th season, which aired from June to August, started with just 4.59 million viewers. So it seemed that the saturation point which the producers were expecting had started to manifest. By the 7th season, which aired from November up to February of the following year, they only had 2.62 million views remaining, and by the time they broadcast the final episode of the final season in early 2017, only 500,000 people were watching the show. The TV show lost a huge chunk of its viewers very rapidly in the middle of 2014, due to controversial statements Phil made in his interview with GQ magazine in 2013. His views didn't sit well with the LGBTQ community, and most of the viewers found his pre-civil rights era opinions quite racist. When he asked what he considered as sinful, he replied, "Start with homosexual behavior and just morph out from there. Bestiality, sleeping around with this woman and that woman and that woman and those men." Phil also said that he never saw in his life the mistreatment of any black person, and that they were happy during the pre-civil rights period in Louisiana. When his interview was broadcast, there was outrage. The A&E network didn't have any choice but to engage in damage control, so they apologized to the public and issued a statement. "We are extremely disappointed to have read Phil Robertson's comments in GQ, which are based on his own personal beliefs." They suspended Phil from the show, but that didn't last long, as it was lifted after 9 days due to the pressure coming, conversely, from his devoted fans, along with the support of many conservatives in the government, including Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal. The Robertsons said that their family is rooted in their faith in God, and added, while some of Phil's unfiltered comments to the reporter were coarse, his beliefs are grounded in the teachings of the Bible. Phil then explained what he meant. When he appeared in other shows, including Good Morning America, he said that there is just one race on Earth, and that everyone belonged to the human race, and color has no place in it. He also declared that he wasn't homophobic, that he is as much of a homophobe as Jesus was. However, the damage had been done, and the ratings kept going down. His controversial statements didn't stop there, as he talked about so many other things that many people found disturbing, with topics including, but not limited to, the handling of ISIS, transgender public bathroom law, and Nazis. He also believed that sexually transmitted diseases was a punishment. The most offensive statement people heard from the Duck Hunter was from an old video of him speaking at a rally in 2009. Phil insinuated that it would be better if men would marry girls as young as 15 or 16 years old. He further said, "Look, you wait till they get to be 20 years old. The only picking that's going to take place is your pocket." Phil did speak from experience, as he married Kay when she was 15 years old, which was legal in Louisiana as long as there was parental consent for the underage bride. His statements were a public relations nightmare, and eventually, the show lost the majority of its audience, hence the cancellation. During the peak of the popularity that the Robertson family enjoyed, fans would brazenly knock on the door of their homes in the wee hours of the morning just to meet them. Thousands of people would line up in their warehouse to see the Duck Commander operations. The interest in them lessened as the years went by, as some of them went back to becoming private citizens, although other family members went on to do spin-off series, including Cy's Going Cyril, Jep and Jessica's Growing the Dynasty, and Phil's In the Quarantine with Phil. Willie and Corey reopened their diner called Willie's Duck Diner in West Monroe, and also hosted Duck Commander Sunday tours. Cy was also busy with his singing career, as he joined his daughter-in-law Bridget Tatum and Marsha Robertson, as well as forming his own band called Uncle Cy and the Psychotics, performing in out-of-town gigs. Jace launched his own podcast entitled Unashamed with his older brother Alan, while Phil hosts his own podcast, Unashamed with Phil. The family has been successful in writing and publishing 29 books, some of which made it onto the New York Times bestseller list, such as Happy, 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 My Life and Legacy as the Duck Commander in 2015 by Phil, The Duck Commander Family in 2012 by Willie and Corey, Psychology 1, Tales and Wisdom from Duck Dynasty's Favorite Uncle in 2014 by Uncle Cy, and Live Fearless, A Call to Power, Passion, and Purpose in 2018 by Sadie, who is Willie's eldest daughter. So, despite the cancellation of the series, a legacy exists which fans of the show may continue to enjoy. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.